All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. It is Uncle Makara, all relations. Let's get started with another incredible video, incredible day today. We are in Jumanji, June, and we are about to turn up because we understand that we are given a real big mission here with this new month as we're starting to step into this role as adepts to match our higher level instincts and our survival with our spirituality and starting to slowly understand how we can use this thing to actually shift ourselves and cause a ripple effect towards our environments and the people that we're interacting with. Okay, so let me talk to you guys, not like some prophet, okay, with a YouTube channel, not like your favorite coach playing, divine masculinity dress up. I'm someone who has fought myself for decades. And I finally stopped pretending the fight was ever with anyone else. So if you could see yourself clearly, you wouldn't be stuck wondering if your purpose is worthy, if your desire is too much, if your trauma disqualified you from joy, because you would realize that every part of your story was actually for your own initiation. It wasn't a punishment or a glitch, it was the map. And the map is not the territories, they say in neurolinguistic programming, right? So you wrote the jungle. What do I mean by this? You wrote the jungle. You can take the jungle out of man, you can't take the man out of the jungle, okay? Or whatever they say, whatever that quote is, right? So you place the snakes, you install the confusion, right? Like a lock you'd later be proud to break. So we're not here to escape the jungle, okay? Jumanji, says Ferris. All right, let's share this with the tribe. Most of them are already on here. Let's just see. Okay. All right. Okay. So you're not here to escape the jungle. You're here to remember that you built the jungle, right? So you could finally run it like a sovereign, okay? Let's be real. You say you want peace, but you keep checking on your ex's story. You say you want abundance, but every time the money comes, your nervous system thinks it's a trick. So you spend it fast to stay in the familiar discomfort of lack. You say you want a spiritual freedom, but you can't go 12 hours without doubting whether you're behind everyone else on the path. I know, bro, because I've done all of that. I've lost months of my life trying to perform spiritually correctly. Fuck that. Sounding enlightened but terrified inside. Taking just enough action to feel productive, but not enough to actually shift anything. So here's the brutal truth. It's not your habits holding you back. It's the belief that something outside of you is going to fix what was only yours to face. The real you, before all the guilt, before suppression or religious doctrine, or before the school system taught you to ask for permission, raise your hand before you ask for something. That you is still here. And he, she, they, them, zim, zer are pissed off. Not at you, right? At the cage that you built for yourself. Pretending it's noble to stay small, to stay humble, to stay unsure. Is that really nobility? Is that really your definition of nobility? and dignity. Let me say something controversial but very necessary. Remember Think and Grow Rich, right? How he dedicated an entire chapter to having a burning desire. If there's something you can't stop thinking about, something that pulls you forward like a scent trail in your dreams, it's the language your soul uses to remind you who you are. It's not selfish. It's not a distraction. Okay? These are just words. Okay? The circus will give you these words. Okay? Not my circus, not my monkey, right? In this case, it is my monkey. The only thing that actually matters, right, is that burning desire. Not some guru's next video, not some 21-step formula for alignment. Follow these steps so that you can finally be aligned. What matters is that you finally recognize that your desire is the divine blueprint trying to break you through the conditioning. I used to think I had to earn it. You see what I'm saying? I have to earn God's grace. I have to earn flow state. I have to earn love by first healing every broken thing in me. What's up, Mathis? But I found something more real. You don't need to earn what's already coded into your soul. You just have to stop interrupting it with doubts. So let me break it down practically. When you give or get a divine download, and immediately you start overthinking, how am I going to fund this? How's this going to work? You're breaking the circuit, right? When you feel joy and then you catch yourself cutting it short immediately because someone else is suffering, you're interrupting your birthright to expand. When you feel momentum building up in your body, right? And it feels so damn good. And then let me just numb it, porn, junk food, whatever, alcohol, right? Some distraction that makes you afraid of the power you prayed for. You guys, I realize that addiction is mostly oral fixation, right? A lot of it. Is we need that nurturing. We need to give ourselves that nurturing and that self-care. Otherwise, you're going to go for the bottle like it's your mama's titty, right? Or you're going to go for the smoke, right? In the similar way. But it's the nurturing you really need. It is not that fake dopamine hit of whatever thing that you're using as a crutch. It's not that. Use it as a weapon. Use it as a tool. Use it as a device, not a vice. We're not here to be human. We're here to embody divinity through humanity. To walk through the fire and not escape it. To look at our resistance and say, yo, I built this prison. It's kind of cool. I could build a throne in the same place. This is what Jumanji June really is. It's the month that we stop pretending that the jungle is just random. We stop cursing the chaos. We stop waiting for someone to come and lead us out of the jungle. We realize we chose to get lost in this shit so that we could remember how to hear our own damn voice again. And no technique will work until you decide that you're done abandoning yourself, right? No manifestation technique will override a nervous system trained to expect failure. So stop shopping for salvation. Just sit in the silence, right? SLW sent that video to me. Just Brian Tracy. Just sit in the silence, how to solve any problem, right? Just sit in the silence and wait 20, 30 minutes and wait for an answer back. Okay? That's really it. That's really it. It does work. The technique works, but it's not a technique. You feel the flame of your desire and you trust that it's holy, and then you act, even if you're scared. Because if you're scared, especially if you're scared because you don't get to see the miracles until you stop demanding proof before presence. You've already seen enough signs, right? Heard enough quotes, collected enough sacred geometry tattoos to last a lifetime, and you're not waiting on the divine. The divine is waiting on you to get out of your own way and finally live like the god or goddess you remembered being when your heart beat for the first time in this body. And if you don't feel ready, that's perfect, because the ones who feel unready but move anyway, those are the ones that change worlds. Welcome to the jungle you wrote. Okay? Now we better walk it like we wrote it. Starts and end with all the nervous system flow cycle. Absolutely. Chi Chi. Still remembering, ain't no saint either, but a priest needs to take the beast for a walk. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. One thing to understand is time ain't real, separation ain't either, right? You're not blocked because you're lazy. You're not stuck because Mercury's in retrograde. You're not manifesting slowly because you didn't script. My scripting is off. I didn't script hard enough. Damn it. I forgot to take my moon-soaked bath, right? You're stuck because of two illusions that run your nervous system and hijacks your OS, separation and time. Let's break them down. Separation. You still think what you want is out there. The money, the soulmate, the opportunity, the healing, and you keep chasing it like it's on the other side of some gate that truly opens when you've done enough inner child meditation or you purged through enough pain. But what if I told you it's not out there? It never was. You're not seeking, you are projecting. The outside world is a custom-made mirror reflecting your internal state of awareness, your assumptions, your frequency, your self-image. And get this, every time you say, I want that, you affirm, I don't have that. Right? I want that really nice car. What is your nervous system saying? I don't have that. It's creating the separation. I am here, subject, and there is the object that I want. Right? That's not flow state. Right? I like to write it down, sticks better. Yeah, exactly. Right? Also, when we're writing something down, guys, we're slowing down our fast-paced brains. So when you can't write as fast as your thoughts. No way. Okay? You're gonna have to slow it down sometime. So that's why it's so powerful. We can use a board if we want. Yeah, we could do whiteboard. Let's see here. How do I? All right, sweet. Okay, this is a transmission for Jumanji June. Okay, the two illusions. Okay, separation and time. Let's just write down a couple of the things that I also said earlier, which is essentially having that burning desire, right? Okay. And that's something that you can't stop thinking about. You're like, man, I want to stop thinking about this, but it's just pulling me into this world, right? It's almost like I'm meant to go there, but I'm not sure why and how. You don't need to know that. The ego wants to know that. Your soul uses that to remind you, right? Okay. And as I was saying earlier, embody divinity through humanity. Okay. So that we can hear our own damn voices again, right? So let's talk about separation and time, right? I talked about separation. You're not seeking, you're projecting. So your frequency is basically saying I don't have that by saying I want that, and that locks that thing deeper into invisibility. Not because it's not there, but because you're not tuned to it, right? If you want to know why manifestation feels so hard, because you're trying to find something that was never missing. Are we getting this? You're trying to attract something that's already within you, waiting for your permission to become visible. Let's kill the second lie, right? Time. Time. The idea that manifestation takes time. No, it takes time, man. It takes time. It doesn't take time, it takes alignment. The more you think, the more time you create. Mm, okay? Big downloads today. The more you think, the more time you create. The more you overanalyze, the more you separate yourself from the now. You think there's a delay. You think it's on its way. But the truth is, it's already here, right? Isn't quantum just another word for instantaneous? You're just out of tune with the version of you that has that. So everything you want exists in your field of infinite potentials, but it's not arriving. It's waiting for you to collapse the wave into the particle by becoming a vibrational match. But you keep asking, when will it happen? Creating this time gap, right? Detach if it gets obsessive. I'm kind of obsessive. Yeah. Okay. We all are, you know? And that's the thing we have to learn is that if we keep saying, when will it happen? When will it happen? Then the very question reveals the trap. You're not living as if it's already yours, right? You're living in future tense lack, which is just another way of it's just a dressed up fear, right? It's just a dressed up anxiety. Because if anxiety pulls us into the future, like what's going to happen? I wonder if, right? But we can also use that mental muscle for the good, right? Listen, this is the greatest definition of manifestation I'm giving you. Manifestation is the art of perceiving what has always been there, but was once invisible to you. Let that land. Okay? It's not pulling things from the ether. It's not attracting what isn't there, right? I'm making something out of nothing. No. Okay? You're not summoning miracles, you're tuning into them. You're not calling things into being, you're clearing the static that kept you from noticing what was already surrounding you. And what is the static? It's the ego mind identity, right? It's the overthinking. It's our attachment to logic. We love it. Our fear-based rituals, our outdated beliefs around worth, karma, timing. So how do you shift, right? How do you shift? You stop trying to get things and you start becoming the version of you who already has those things, right? If this was in the master key system, right? You want deep love, you become the damn frequency of love, right? If you want power, you activate a power consciousness. Be in it how you breathe, how you walk into rooms, how you treat yourself when no one's watching, right? So this is a big reminder. Is like, I got to embody that flow a lot more in my body because if I'm feeling rough and rigid and my joints are aching and I'm like, feel like taking a nap, that's not really someone who trusts the flow of their resources, does it? So you got to act like someone who trusts the flow of resources. Then you will speak with certainty, you'll spend with reverence, and you'll stop hoarding like God's a cheapskate, right? You want to lead a movement, so then stop asking if you're ready. Speak from your soul now. People don't follow polish, they follow power. And power comes through presence, not perfection. We're led to believe it comes from perfection. We're led to believe that it's hierarchical. We're led to believe that it's outside of us, right? But let's not even go there. Your state of being is the vehicle. Everything you've wanted is already here in a different vibrational zip code. Your state of being is your vehicle. It's not your vision board. It's not your 6 a.m. gratitude journal. It's your frequency that turns the potential into form. So you're the only one who can shift your state. And you do that by not trying to fix your life, but by remembering who the hell you are right now. This is the theme of Jumanji, Jumanji, June. Okay? Jumanji, Jumanji. Okay, looks like Versace, Versace. That's where I got that flow, by the way. If you guys were wondering. So you think the narcissist in your life is hurting you? They're feeding off your energy because your inner child is still giving them permission to. If you think your money block is ancestral, Maybe. Okay, maybe. But if you keep feeding it with emotional reactions every time a bill shows up, you're watering the damn weed. Your emotions are just feelings, but they're also power outlets. And every time you react to the matrix, you're letting these parasites plug into you and drain your manifestation fuel. So if you want to create fast, protect your emotional sovereignty like your life depends on it. Most profound insight I still contemplate and remember is man's destiny is in his seed. Read that again. Right. You are not a student learning manifestation. You're not a wounded soul hoping for a breakthrough. You're the author of the simulation, right? You getting there, money? Okay. Minimala, minimala. Oh, by the way, I created a light language rap from Vega last night by just speaking a bunch of light language. Sounds like absolute gibberish, but it really is light language. I could guarantee you it is light language from Vega. And is very interesting to do that because I'd never actually tuned into it, but it actually sounds like a foreign language as I spoke it. It's actually wild, bro. It's actually really wild. It sounded like a foreign language. I was like, what is this? Like, is this Japanese? Is this, Croatian? I don't know what this is, this language. But yeah, it's funny. I might share with you guys only for adepts. This is a little bit out there. And also the Saravana Bhavaya Namaha, that invocation for our Kartikeya. You guys are seeing. Let me just close the thing for a second to show you guys this majesty right here of Murugan. I'll open the whiteboard again soon. Just showing you guys, okay? I haven't even taken out the plastic wrap yet. Okay. A, man, we're leveling up. Okay. That's all I can tell you because if my higher self told me to purchase this, that means that there's something happening, right? In the background right now. And it's happening so quickly that we aren't even able to catch it in a sense. Because with our human minds, we can only translate so much of this spiritual stuff, these realms, right? I find it difficult to do so, so I'm sure you are also finding it difficult to kind of catch yourself in that stream. But if you just trust in that and you allow those downloads to come through and you don't try to force it or negate it or like snip it or try to edit it according to your own ego, right? You just allow it to be what it needs to be for you. And you take actions according to that, right? So let me open the whiteboard again. Yeah, okay. So stop praying for signs and start becoming one, right? Start acting like it's done, not from delusion, but from resonance. Everything you want is already breathing next to you in the invisible. Everything you want is already breathing next to you in the invisible. Your job isn't to make it real. Your job is to get so present, so aligned, so rooted in your own divinity that reality has no choice but to adjust itself to match your inner world. Now, that's not magic, that's just mastery. You were never blocked, you were never distracted. You just have to get back to your throne and remember who you are. Just you with your will, right? What is your divine will? Your desire and intention when they match. That's your divine will. Okay. If you don't feel like you have what you want, it's not because you're blocked or because your karma's bad. It's not even because you haven't healed enough yet. It's because you haven't made the uncompromising decision, right? A soul anchored decision for it. The kind of decision that burns every other option out of existence, right? Because a part of our manifestations come in slow because deep down there's a part of us still waiting for it, still negotiating with my past, still checking if it's the right time, so asking the universe for permission, right? And here's what no fluffy coach will tell you: the universe doesn't respond to lukewarm signals. It mirrors only certainty. That's okay, babe. Yeah, go take care of what you need to. I know you had a sleepless night, let's say, for your own work purposes, of course. Have a question: how to handle things you once wanted, then kicked as you recognize you outgrown it, but now it gets delivered and you, nah, I don't want it. Hmm. So, how to handle things you once wanted, then kicked as you recognize you outgrown it, and now it gets delivered and you're like, no, I don't want it. It just shows you that there's a new timeline, right? And there's timeline disturbances from an old timeline coming in, right? Here's a powerful truth. All possibilities, right, exist within you now, right? It's not tomorrow, not after the shadow work session you did or the, cacao ceremony. It's not after you earn enough or heal enough or post the most perfect reel. It's in the now. So those many rooms in the Father's house, right? Jesus wasn't talking about heaven. He was talking about the higher mind, your imagination, your inner mansion with these infinite timelines, right? So each room is a version of you. So that version of you, right? You once wanted that. There's a version of you still there that still wants it. But now you're like, you're consciously saying, nah, but then there's something working in the background, right? Like a puppeteer. So each room is a version of you: the lover, the writer, the leader, the warrior, the one who made it, the one who didn't make it. All are already encoded within you, right? But if you keep standing in the hallway like you don't have a key, remember you built the house. Stop acting like a guest in your own house, right? So everything is already created. It's not coming into being, it's collapsing into visibility the moment you align with it. You select it, you don't summon it. So why don't most people experience what they want? Because they haven't gotten clear. Clarity is spiritual currency. And look at a lot of spiritual communities, there's a bunch of confusion. Okay. Confusion is the tax the matrix charges for your attention. Okay. I've coached many and watched the most brilliant, gifted, and awakened people walk around in circles. Not because they're broken, but because they refuse to name what they wanted. Until you decide, the universe treats your desire as a suggestion. But when you're a creator, suggestions don't manifest, decisions do. Decide comes from the root word to cut off, right? A true decision cuts off all other outcomes. You cut off the escape plan. You don't try, you don't hope. You enter the timeline like it's already yours, you see? You want to know why the 1% only moves like kings and queens? Because they made a decision before they had the evidence. And many people in the modern day will call that delusion, but that's actually a high level of mastery. Every time a doubt enters your head, right? Every time you think, maybe I'm not good enough, maybe this isn't meant for me, you catch it. You pause, you take 3 conscious breaths. What did this really mean, right? You recreate yourself in that moment. You bring your awareness back into the now and you say, I am the creator. I decide. You do it not once in a ceremony, you do it 3,000 times a day, right? Until your default Now it's just your default mode network. You're not learning to become the creator, you're remembering that you already are. The illusion was forgetting. The practice is remembering, right? On loop in the real with no backup identity to fall into. Let's make it plain, right? Neuro linguistic alchemy. I've always had it. I don't know why, but it's always just worked out for me. People just want to help me. They always have. I'm just lucky in very divine ways. Start talking like this. Start talking like this, guy, because not to the world, to yourself, to your own subconscious. Let your mind get confused. Let it panic for a second. Huh? What is he or she saying? Nothing works out for them, right? Watch your nervous system stretch to accommodate the version of you that already has it. This is an art form, man. Right? Manifestation isn't manufacturing, it's perception. You're not trying, yeah, we can write this up. I'm forgetting to use the whiteboard, right? Just ranting. Okay? You're not trying to build a future, you're tuning into the state of a frequency that's already coded within you. Or you're not making a new path, you're removing the fog from the road that's always existed. So the longer I think I'm becoming something, the longer I'm going to delay. Everything that says you are limited is a matrix propaganda. And I don't say that as a metaphor. I mean, literally, like through media, language, family trauma, education, religious shame, all of it is designed to make an infinite, limitless being believe they need permission to decide something. But you have written this jungle. You're not writing your story from scratch. You're flipping pages in a book where the ending is already victorious. And the only plot twist is how long it takes you to remember that, right? The game has already been coded. You're just now learning how to play in God mode. Every version of you is encoded into the multiverse of your being, the broke version, the boss version, the bitter version, right? So a lot of people keep pretending that they're not the author of their own life, which is baffling, right? When will you finally slam the table down and say, I decide, right? You are not the character. You are not the player of the character. You are the creator of the entire game. Are we getting this? This is my final transmission, guys. You picked these things before you came in here because you knew that you would forget and you trusted that when you remembered, you'd burn down this whole illusion and rise unshaken. So this is the month of no return. Okay. No more playing small, no more soft decisions, no more pretending you're the seeker. You are the source. You are the mansion. You are the blueprint. You are the builder. Okay. So pick a room of the mansion of your infinite self and walk in like you own the place because you do. Okay. So strap in, sit down, or better yet, stand tall because this is like a jungle beat. Okay. Awakening in your spine, right? This isn't just a vibe. This is volcanic remembering. Okay. So there's something called the Great Amnesia. Why did you forget that you had a choice? Deep in the underbrush of your programming, you forgot that you even have an option to choose because you've been conditioned like a lab rat in a godless maze. They didn't just steal your attention, they hijacked your choice architecture. The illusion of no choice is or freedom is the real prison. You were taught to obey routines instead of ride the rhythm. But here's the grand secret of Jumanji June. Whether you win or lose is not about what you manifest. It's about how often you remember you're the creator. You don't manifest once and chill. You recreate yourself as the creator over and over and over and over again. It's like breath work for your identity, right? So you're not a content consumer, you're a creator. Okay. Not someone who eats from the buffet of others' ideas, but one who codes the cuisine of reality itself, right? They're content creators, they want your attention, but then there's master creators who want your sovereignty. Okay. So we drop one transmission and boom, as a master creator, your nervous system rewires, your shame dissolves, your frequency upgrades, not because you copied someone's course, but because you remembered your source. What does God do when God wants to experience something? God chooses without doubt, permission, a checklist, an astrological cosign, right? Desire, intention, thought, emotion, action, behavior, right? Creation doesn't start with thought, starts way higher. You were taught to think your way into transformation. That's the wrong OS. Thoughts are like the third tier coding. Behavior is like the lowest frequency in the chain. A master creator operates from desire and intention. They don't look for proof, logic, or linearity. Just God choosing itself into form. God is choosing herself into form. That's why your inspired action needs to be instant, because when the window of divine delivery opens, it doesn't wait for your overthinking. So act now, where spirit gives the mission to someone else, right? Elizabeth Gilbert called it big magic. These ideas are floating around constantly. And you're thinking about this idea, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this, I'm talking about it, right? But then suddenly someone else has it, right? Someone else is doing that thing. Just because you were like procrastinating on it, which is really you being a dick to your future self, right? So it's not about what you manifest, it's about how many times you create yourself as the creator. Okay? No spiritual guru will tell you this. They'll say, visualize it once, hold the frequency, let the universe deliver. Right? These are half truths and sugar-coated enslavement. The real game is consciously hitting respawn every time the matrix tries to gaslight you. Every time an old version of yourself tries to glitch your growth, right? Every present moment is a new jungle level. Okay? Jungle, jungle, pata chala hai, okay? The real Jungle Book back in the day, right? The lyrics say he's playing. It's a wild lyric, bro. He's smelling the flowers in his underwear. That's literally the lyrics, right? Of that fucking Mowgli song or whatever. Wow, right? What in the world? But still, jungle, okay? Every new jungle that you encounter is just your subconscious mind. Oh my gosh, there's a tiger coming. No, it's just fear lurking in your subconscious mind. Whoa, was that a weird, like, bird thing that I saw? No, probably an astral thought that is higher up in its frame than you. It has a higher perspective than you, right? So every time these little images or dream sequences or these different things show up, don't take it literally. Look at it figuratively, metaphorically, right? That's how you're going to decode this thing. So the art of dissolving what's not you, right? That's what this really is. If you choose something you don't prefer, shows up on the screen of your reality, you simply choose something else, right? You don't fight it, you don't fix it, you starve it. Energy flows where attention goes, so you choose again. You choose again. It's the choice that matters. You don't heal by dragging your trauma through another therapy loop. You heal it by choosing the new frequency. It's like, it's like switching game skins, right? It's the same body, but it's a new broadcast. Okay? So we must transmute the nice guy or the nice gal and summon the real one. Because nice is still a mask of shame. It's kind is the nature of authenticity. Kindness, not fake niceness like politeness. That just creates distance with people, right? When you're real with someone, bro, you feel so connected to them, right? Like that's how you get spiritually mugged and emotionally extorted is when you play this nice guy card. And we're here to resurrect the original, the one before the guilt, trauma, conditioning. Be kind, but don't play small, right? We didn't come here to vibe. We came here to vibrate so loud that the damn simulation cracks. You are energy. Money is energy. So money is already you. You are money. You just forgot. In this jungle, you don't chase money like prey. You broadcast abundance as a natural pheromone of your being. You don't need to beg your boss or hustle the algorithm. Your frequency is your invoice. Your authenticity is your signature, right? Chosen ones or choosing ones or chosen ones as they choose to be the one within the all one. Dang. Bars, okay? So let's get surgical, right? Low vibe emotions aren't just bad feelings. They're portals for parasites. Shame and guilt feed on the astral farm, right? Energetic leeches keep you looping in timelines of self-punishment. But the solution is stop holding guilt like a trophy of virtue. Just drop it like a cursed relic, right? Your job isn't to be pure, it's to be real. And the real you is not burdened by stuff, man. The real you is wild, it's clean, it's untouchable. You're not just healing, you're remembering. And you're not just ascending, you're logging back into the mainframe of who you've always been. And the jungle is just our classroom, our training ground, right? Our dream dojo. And the vines, they move when you roar. So the question isn't how do I become a master creator? It's how often can I remember to respawn as the one who wrote the damn jungle? So let's end with this, guys. This understanding today. Repeat after me in your mind. Tapping into Primal Sutra Nexus. I wrote this jungle. I bend the vines. I code the monsters. I summon the allies. I'm not becoming anything. I'm remembering everything. So be it, Swaha. This is your gauntlet, okay? Welcome to Level Creator. You're not here to survive the jungle. You're here to realize you are the jungle. Let's get it. Upward Spiral Gang. May we never be the same again. All right, guys. Have an incredible rest of your day. Moon Day, Monday. Get some Moon Eye. Okay, Moon Eye. And let's win once again. We got this. You got this. Upward Spiral Gang. May we never be the same again. Let's morph like the Morpho Butterfly. Let's win. Roll the dice, take a chance, right? Is that Jumanji like phrase or whatever? Unleash your best life. Roll the dice to unleash your best life. Let's get it today, guys. Upward Spiral. Peace.